If you've ever crossed the Atlantic and ordered the same meal on both sides, you'll probably notice something obvious. That medium soda in America is almost a pint. That side of fries could feed a small football team. And when you look at dessert, it's not a small slice of cake, it's a real commitment. In the United Kingdom, the same meal feels more restrained. It's more compact, and you finish and you're satisfied and you walk away. In the United States, you'll probably leave with what we call in America a to-go box. Today we're talking, of course, about portion sizes. Let's start with the raw data. In comparative studies, American portion sizes consistently rank as among the largest in the world. In one frequently cited study published in the British Medical Journal, researchers analyzed common food items in fast food chains across 10 high-income countries, including the US and UK. And they found that portion sizes in the United States were often double the calories of the same menu items found elsewhere. For example, McDonald's fries in the USA is 320 calories and in the UK, 250 calories. A medium Coca-Cola in the USA in milliliters was around 620. In the UK, a medium was around 400. Even Domino's pepperoni pizza was about 14 inches in the USA and 13.5 inches in the UK, and this isn't even taking into account that the USA has a higher cheese and oil content as well as a thicker crust. Even non-fast food items tend to differ. A standard bagel in 1980 was about 3 inches in diameter and 140 calories. Today in the USA, it's often 6 inches in diameter and 350 plus calories. In the UK, while bagels have grown too, they're still more modest, typically closer to 230 to 250 calories. Now, how did America get there? To understand the difference, we need to travel back. We're always traveling back because the roots of American portion sizes actually go back to World War II. So after World War II, the United States entered a period of rapid economic expansion. Industrial agriculture, cheap fuel, fast highways, and suburban sprawl really created the perfect storm for volume-focused consumerism, aka more is more. Supermarkets introduced bulk buying, family bought freezers to store frozen meals and stockpiles, and fast food chains like McDonald's, founded in 1940, and later Burger King, Wendy's, and Taco Bell revolutionized the concept of value, making value synonymous with quantity. In 1970, American McDonald's offered only one size of fries, but by 1990, it had added small, medium, large, and, for a while, the infamous supersize. Introduced in 1993 and popularized during the fast food wars of the 90s, the supersize option increased soda to 42 ounces or 1.2 liters. This option was quietly removed in 2004, coincidentally, I'm sure, related to being the same year that Super Size Me came out. This documentary explored what it would be like if somebody always ordered the supersize option at McDonald's when offered. And spoiler alert for the documentary and his waistline and general health, it wasn't good. Meanwhile, in the UK, things were different in this time period. Post-war Britain was shaped by austerity and rationing, and this really lasted until the 1950s. Even after that, British food culture remained more reserved. Meals were often home-cooked, and eating out was occasional, not every day. The idea of abundance, especially in food, was never as embedded in the national culture. Even fast food arrived in Britain later. McDonald's opened its first UK branch in 1974 in London, but even as fast food grew, the portion sizes were often scaled down to meet European standards. British regulation and consumer expectations were not willing to embrace more is more. And again, the American relationship with portion size goes beyond history. It's deeply cultural. In the USA, value for money is king. A larger meal is seen as a better deal, even if it's more than you can eat. Marketing taps into this constantly. 2 for 1, more meat for your buck, or family-sized are all very common things to hear in the US. Food in America often serves as a symbol of hospitality, of celebration, of success. And in a country where tipping is standard and restaurants compete for foot traffic, serving big plates of food can be seen as a selling point. Meanwhile, in the UK, subtlety and moderation are often considered virtues, and this extends to food. British people are less likely to complain about small portions and more likely to feel awkward leaving uneaten food. The pub Sunday roast is hearty, yes, but it's rarely excessive to the same level as American food portions. And it's not just consumer expectations, it's also the literal plate size. A study by Cornell University found that people eat up to 92% of what's on their plate, regardless of how large the plate is. American dinner plates expanded from around 9 inches in the 1950s to 12 inches by the 2000s. People naturally ate more, often without even realizing it. In the UK, an average plate size remains closer to 10 to 10.5 inches on average. Now, when it comes to regulation, the UK has stricter rules when it comes to labeling, advertising, and nutrition transparency. For example, since 2018, large food businesses in the UK must display calorie counts on their menus. Then you have the sugar tax, officially known as the soft drinks industry levy, that was also introduced in 2018, and it incentivized beverage manufacturers to cut sugar levels. There's also packaging regulations related to how foods can be marketed to children, especially if they're high in fat, salt, or sugar. Now, the US has taken some steps, notably the Affordable Care Act's requirement that chain restaurants display calorie counts. But portion sizes themselves remain largely unregulated, and attempts to rein in the sizes, like New York's 2012 proposal to cap sugary drink servings, they've often been struck down by Americans claiming that these are nanny state policies. But the results of this divergence in countries is very easy to spot. The average adult in the US consumes around 3,600 calories per day, and when it comes to obesity, like I've talked about in a previous video, 42% of USA adults are considered obese. This is around the 20% mark in the UK. And in the UK, the NHS spends around £6 billion a year treating obesity-related illnesses. In the US, that figure is closer to $147 billion annually. And it's not just about weight. Oversized portions are often ultra-processed, low in fiber, and high in sodium and sugar, all contributors to heart disease, diabetes, and other chronic conditions. And as always, the portion size debate isn't just about calories. Again, it's about how we view food, how we define value, and how our environments shape our appetites. In the United States, bigger is often better. A large portion isn't just about the meal, it's a sign of abundance. You don't have to eat it all, but you have the option if you want it. In the United Kingdom, portions are more modest because there's a built-in cultural norm that says, let's not go overboard. Meals are meant to satisfy, not overwhelm, and you don't need extra, you just need what you need. Now that brings me to the end of this video. I'd love for you to comment below and let me know, have you noticed American portion sizes being introduced in the UK? Are you somebody who has traveled to the US and experienced these portion sizes? I'd love to hear your comments down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.